Fire, one of the oldest elements on Earth. It gives life, but it also takes it away. In the 21st century, its power has reached unprecedented levels. Entire regions are engulfed in flames, wiping out forests, cities, and thousands of human lives. These are not just fires. These are firestorms caused by climate change and human carelessness. Today, we will look back at the 5 most dangerous and large-scale fires that have shown how fragile our world is. February 7, 2009. On this fateful day, dubbed Black Saturday, Australia suffocated. The thermometer rose to 46 degrees Celsius, and winds gusting at over 100 kilometers per hour spread more than 400 fires across the state of Victoria. It wasn't a fire, it was a firestorm. It moved so fast that people had no chance. In a few hours, the flames engulfed 450,000 hectares of land. 173 people died in their homes and cars while trying to escape. 2,000 houses were reduced to ashes, and the damage was estimated at $4.4 billion. Everything was thrown into the fight against this natural disaster. 20,000 firefighters, the Army, and assistance from the U.S. and Canada. But the power of Black Saturday was devastating. The investigation showed that it was not only the climate that ignited this hell, but also human hands. Some of the fires were deliberately set. While the whole world was watching Camp Fire in Northern California, in the south, just 100 kilometers from Los Angeles, with its population of 15 million, the Woolsey and Woolwood fires were raging. But it was Camp Fire that went down in history as the deadliest in the United States. In just the first 6 hours, the fire spread 20 kilometers and reached the sleeping town of Paradise. The only evacuation route became a trap. 85 people did not manage to escape. The flames consumed 19,000 buildings and almost wiped the town off the face of the earth, causing $16.5 billion in damage. More than 1,000 fire crews and 100 aircraft fought the fire, but hurricane-force winds thwarted their efforts. It was a collapse of infrastructure and a warning to the whole world. While the world watched burning houses, Siberia burned quietly and almost unnoticed by the global media. But the scale was monstrous. In the summers of 2019, 2020, and 2021, up to 18 million hectares of taiga burned simultaneously. That's more than the entire area of Greece. The firestorms raged in such remote areas that it was often impossible to extinguish them. The smoke from these megafires reached Alaska and covered the North Pole, causing a global environmental disaster with CO2 emissions comparable to those of an entire industrial country. Tens of thousands of firefighters and army units fought the fires, but it was a battle against the elements that could not be won by human forces alone. It was a new generation of fire, silent, gigantic, and incredibly dangerous for the entire planet. August 2021. Temperatures in Greece are breaking all records. The drought has turned pine forests into ideal fuel. The fire, driven by the wind, rushed toward the sea, cutting off people's escape routes. Thousands of residents and tourists on the island of Euboea were trapped. They were evacuated by fishing boats and military ships. More than 100,000 hectares of forests and olive groves were burned to the ground. But the main shock for Europe was the unprecedented international rescue operation. 22 countries sent their planes, helicopters, and firefighters to help Greece. It was a moment when Europe saw the face of climate catastrophe up close and realized that it was impossible to cope with it alone. August 8, 2023. Hurricane Dora, raging hundreds of kilometers from Hawaii, sent hurricane-force winds to the island of Maui. They tore down power lines, and sparks fell on the drought-parched ground. And then the worst began. The fire did not burn the endless forests. It raced through the streets of the historic town of Lahaina, founded in the 18th century at the speed of an express train. In just a few hours, almost nothing remained of the town. People jumped into the ocean to escape the flames. 100 people are officially recognized as dead, but over 1,000 are still missing. The fire, which burned only 900 hectares, caused $6 billion in damage and became the deadliest in the United States in the last 100 years. It was a tragedy that showed that nothing is safe from fire. Not a tropical paradise, not history, not modern warning systems. All these disasters have one thing in common: their unprecedented intensity linked to global warming, droughts, and human factors. We have learned to fight fire, but we are still losing the battle against the firestorms generated by our dangerous planet. From Australia to Hawaii, these tragedies, which have claimed hundreds of lives and caused billions in damage, are a harsh lesson that we must not forget. Nature will continue to show its power, but our job is to be ready for it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to learn more about our amazing and sometimes frightening world.